All right, guys, this one should be pretty straightforward. This is a lesson on divisibility rules. Go ahead and put your name and the date at the top of your notes. All right, so if we think back to yesterday when we first started talking about divisibility rules, we should know that a prime number is a number whose only factors are 1 in itself. We should also remember our definition that a composite number is a number that has more than 2 factors. Today you're going to use your divisibility rules chart to help you find prime and composite numbers. So we're going to try 2 of them together. The first one we're going to try is 243. Now, as a rule, what I typically look for are 3 things when I'm trying to figure out if a number is prime or composite. I check first to see if it's even, because I know if it's an even number right off the bat, it's a composite number because you can divide it by 1, itself, and the number 2. If it's not even, I check to see if it ends in a 5. If it ends in a 5, then I know I can divide it by 5, by 1, and itself. Some people also like to add in that if it ends in a 0, it's easy because you know you can divide by 10, but that would also be an even number. So yes, if you'd like to look for the 0, you can. The first number we're going to look at today is 243. So right off the bat, I'm going to look. Is it even? No. Does it end in a 5 or a 0? No, it ends in a 3. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work. If I check back to my divisibility rules chart, the next easiest one to check for is to see if it's divisible by 3. You'll remember if a number is divisible by 3, you can add the digits, and if the digits equal a multiple of 3, then you can divide by 3. So we have 3 digits here, 2, 4, and 3. If I'm looking for the sum of the digits, that means I'm going to add them. You should be able to do this one in your head, but if you didn't, you could use order of operations. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 9 is definitely divisible by 3. So since the sum of its digits are divisible by 3, I know that this number is divisible by 3, which makes it composite. But you'll notice our directions said, if the numbers are composite, list at least 3 factors. Well, I know the number 3 because I just did the math. You can always divide a number by 1, and you can always divide a number by itself. You guys are probably thinking this looks really easy because it's similar to what we did in class today, but some of the numbers at the bottom can get a little tricky. I'm going to have you pause the video and try the second number, and when you're finished, I'm going to have you unpause and make sure you got it right. Okay, the second one was actually a pretty easy one that I gave you. I gave you 108. If you use my tip and you look to see if it ends in a 5 or a 0 or an even number, you'll notice right off the bat it ends in an even number. That makes it composite. And I know that because if it's even, I can divide it by 2. I also know I can divide it by 1, and I can divide it by itself. You have 6 problems today. They are not terribly hard. If you wanted to do some more practice, you could always look online. There are several different prime and composite games, or if you wanted to practice your numbers up to 100, there's that rap video I showed you, and those are really great to know because they're going to be the numbers you see the most when we work with fractions. See you tomorrow.